Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. Today's video is a very classic New Year's Eve party look. I added some glitter, I added a red lip. It's very dramatic and very fun, but also very easy to do. I did use a pretty broad range of products ranging from prices, but the main star of the show is definitely the eyeshadow palette, which is, whoops, that's my cell phone. The main star of the show is this palette right here. This is from BH Cosmetics. It is part of their marble collection, and this is the cool stone one. There is two. There's a warm stone and a cool stone. So this is the main palette that we use today for shadows. And we also went in with a really nice glitter. This one here is from JCat Beauty. This is the first time that I was working with this specific glitter, and I really liked it. It was very easy to use, easy to place onto the eye, and not a whole lot of fallout. The rest of the products are pretty interchangeable, and you can use anything that you have at home. But without further ado, if you do want to see how I got this really fun classic New Year's Eve party look, then just keep on watching. Alright, so jumping right in, we're going to actually start with the brows today. So we're taking the BH Studio Pro. This is the HD brow pencil, and I've been liking the shade Brunette, and I just really quickly touch up my brows. I keep the shape that they naturally have and just kind of fill in the blanks, if that makes sense. Just make them look a little bit bolder, and then of course I like to extend my tail just a tad. My brow routine is pretty simple, and you guys have seen me do it quite a few times, so I'm going to keep this pretty short and sweet. Moving on to the eyes, I'm going to prime today with my favorite eyeshadow base. This is from NYX Cosmetics, and it is in the shade Skintone. I just like to buff it out really evenly all over the lid, starting right up at the brows. For shadows today, we are taking the BH Cosmetics Marble Collection. This is the 12 eyeshadow palette in Cool Stone. And we're going to be starting off with the really nice peachy kind of beige shadow and just work that into the crease. I actually don't recommend using this shadow because it is a little bit too shimmery for what we wanted it to do, but it did the job. And then we moved on to this really nice kind of cool tone brown shade. It's a little bit more taupey once it hits the eye, but I really liked it, and I just buffed that into the crease kind of right on top of that peach shadow. And we're just blending that all over the crease, starting from the inner corner all the way to the outer corner and even into the outer V, really just taking your time and buffing out those edges. Next, we're going in with the shadow right on top of the one I pointed to. It's like a matte gray. I'm not sure why I didn't point to it, but we're taking this and just working this into the outer V and then dragging the excess into the inner corner. This shadow went on really nicely. I did go in a few times to build up the intensity, but just go in as many times as you want, as dark as you want your kind of silver smoky eye to be. And if you want it a little bit more natural, then just go in 1 or 2 times. But I think I went in 3 times with this gray shadow. Now to add some sparkle, we're taking that really nice sparkly gray shadow. We actually went in with a lighter silver from a completely different palette. Skip this step, I just wanted to show you that there was something underneath. But this shadow here from the BH Cosmetics Marble Collection Cool Stone will cover it up completely. I much preferred this one over the first one, and it went on beautifully. I didn't even use any Fix Plus. This is how it went on with a dry brush, and it was super pigmented. And once I packed on the shade where I wanted it, I just took that same blending brush and just blended out the outer edges so that there was no harsh lines and everything went seamlessly. The best part of every makeup look, adding the glitter. This is the JCat Rockin the Night Sparkling Powder, which is essentially just a glitter, and it is in the shade Cool Silver. This worked really nicely. I took a very small, precise brush to do this because I really wanted to put the glitter exactly where I wanted it, and pretty much was just laying it on the lid space on top of that really pretty silver, and the two of them went so nicely together. I did spray my brush a little bit with some of the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. You can use any setting spray and it'll help you stick the glitter right away. Moving on to the skin, I'm using the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. This is a phenomenal primer for the winter months, or if you have really dry skin, this is going to look fantastic on you. It is just so dewy. It gives your skin a really fresh, healthy, hydrated look, and I just love the way it looks on underneath any foundation really. And we're going to be using a very long-lasting matte foundation today, so this you can interchange with any foundation that you like, but this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Longwear Liquid Foundation. I'm in the shade 4.0, and I love this foundation, but I only love it on top of like this kind of primer, like primers that really hydrate and make your skin look a little bit more dewy, or else this I find just clings to any dry patch that you have. So if you have dry skin, I highly recommend you stay away from this foundation. But if you're like me and you have oily skin, this foundation is awesome, especially for nights like New Year's Eve where you want your makeup to stay on all night long. This will not budge. To conceal, this foundation is so full coverage, you really don't need a whole lot of concealer. Like, I even think that I put on just a touch too much, so I only put it under the eyes and in the center of the forehead. If I were to go back and redo this, I just put like 1 or 2 lines under the eyes and that's it, because I wasn't really highlighting with this, so there was no purpose of me putting it in the center of the forehead. So I would only use concealer for the dark circles and if you have any blemishes with this foundation. Otherwise, you are good to go. Like, this is so heavy duty full coverage, you don't need to over apply. And I forgot to mention it, but that was the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Sand. But moving on to set and highlight a little bit, I really have been skipping highlighting with my concealer and kind of doing it with my setting powder instead. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. This is phenomenal. They do have a brightening version as well, but this one, even so, really does do the trick. It brightens and just makes your under eyes look so smooth and not cakey at all. I love it. Now to add a little bit of color to the face, we're taking MAC Give Me Sun. This is a mineralized skin finish. It is a beautiful bronzer. For this look here, I decided to skip contouring and just go straight into bronzing. I typically only do one or the other, but you can do both if you'd like. I love this bronzer for looks where I really need to bring back some color into my skin. I find that when you're using a full coverage foundation, this tends to happen where you kind of look like one color, really dead, and you don't look alive. So I like to go in with this bronzer to really give me some sun to the skin, as the name says it. Moving on to blush, I actually never can figure out the name of this blush, but this is a butter blush from Physicians Formula. It is stunning because it has like a glow to it, so it kind of goes hand in hand with your highlight. I think it looks beautiful on the skin, but I'm pretty sure the name is Murumuru Butter Blush, or it also could be called Natural Glow, but it's a really nice soft pink. Moving on to some highlight, we're taking Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is in the shade Moonstone, and again, I'm just spraying a little bit of the Mist and Fix from Makeup Forever onto my brush and just applying that on my cheekbones, a little bit above the brow. And I love the way that just powder highlights have been looking with a little bit of setting spray sprayed onto the brush. Another really great way to make your highlights stand out is layering creams with the powders, but lately I've just been using this method and it looks amazing. Popping on some lashes, I tried a new lash today. This is the Sephora collection in the style Audacious number 21, and I really like them. I did have to cut them quite a bit, and the band is a little bit thicker, but I didn't have any problems applying. For the under eyes, I'm just taking that gray matte shade and just buffing that on the lower lash line and then lining my waterline as well. This is the Gigi X Maybelline, the gel liner in black, and it goes on like so smooth. The best gel liner I've come across in a while, and then I just buffed that into the gray shade as well. Taking a more precise brush, I'm just grabbing a little bit of Moonstone and popping that on the inner corner. I also did apply it on the brow bone as well, and then finishing off the eyes with a little bit of mascara. I've been loving the CoverGirl Total Tease mascara, especially for the lower lash lines. The brush is just perfection. Moving on to lips, this was a total fail because I zoomed in too close and you couldn't see anything, but I did originally line my lips with a little bit of the L'Oreal Color Riche Matte. This is in Matte in Manhattan, which is a nice red, and then also took a little bit of Max Vino on the outer edges. But all you really need is a really nice matte red, which I chose the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is their liquid matte lipstick in American Doll. This is a beautiful red. It has a blue undertone, so it's going to make your teeth nice and white. But anyways, this completes this really fun New Year's Eve classic makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick tutorial. I hope you guys have a very fun and safe New Year's Eve, and I will see you guys in 2018.